Hello. I'm kind of sorting through my cards right now, so I thought I would tell a little story while I was sorting through it. So I'm not gonna exactly focus on the camera. I'm gonna be looking at my binder as I reorganize them because I screwed up. But anyway, I'm gonna tell a little story about what happened yesterday. So yesterday, well, let's wind it back to last Friday. Last Friday, we woke up, my wife and I, to our kids' daycare not having power, not having phone, nothing. So they had to say that, oh, we're gonna wait on the electric company. We're gonna wait on the phone company while we sort this out. So, sorry, I'm gonna lose track of my cards really easily because I've already screwed this up once, and yeah. But anyway, so they're like, oh yeah, we'll get this straightened out. My wife and I had a discussion, Amber, whether or not whose turn it was to call in, and neither of us really wanted to call in, but I told her that I could get out early if I needed to, and she agreed that if she didn't have to go to work until 9, and I told her I could be home by noon if I needed to be. So anyway, kids didn't have school. We didn't because we didn't have daycare, or kids didn't have daycare because they were closed because of. Still don't know the exact reason why, but anyway. My original plan for Friday now is I'm going to try to pick up my fresh goods for my lunches for the following week, so then I can make my lunches and meal prep them for on Sunday with fresh food that lasts that should be good throughout that week. So no daycare meant I could not do that. So I had to push it off, and I don't like to be a jerk and stick Amber alone with the kids for any amount of time. I don't want to go during nap time because if I come back and wait and the dog wakes them up, I'll feel guilty. Same goes for bedtime. I don't want to go after they go to bed because if I come home and the dog's barking, they're gonna wake up to that and I'll feel bad. So the best time to do it is when we don't have them, when they're in school. So yeah. So anyway, fast forward. So I couldn't go to the store Monday. Today's Wednesday. So I couldn't go to the store Monday. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember exactly what happened. Oh, I think Amber was still off from work, and the kids also did not have daycare that day. That was a planned closure. They were scheduled to have an in-service that day. So Amber was already off. She was already planning on it, but she was not planning on the following Thursday or the previous Friday. So she was with them until noon, and then I was with them from noon until the end of the night because Amber works all night. Anyway, so I wasn't able to go to the store on Monday either. So Tuesday comes around. That's yesterday, and I get out of work. A skosh on the late side, but I go to the store, get my fresh goods. It's a quick trip, less than $10. I have a really good lunch system going on right now, guys. But anyway, I run in, I grab my stuff, I get out, I get home. It's around 4:30 by the time I get home. So I got out of work late. I went to Meijer, got that stuff, got home around 4:30, and we've got about 6 more inches of snow in our driveway than when I left, which was pretty bad. So no kids at home. And I don't have to pick them up for another hour at this point. So I'm gonna snowblow because hell's fury or whatever the saying is, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, something like that. Cause yeah, getting in and out of the driveway, we want to be able to do that. That's a good thing. So I'm gonna snowblow the driveway. This is a long story, a long preface, because this has absolutely no bearing on what goes on in the rest of the story. So this is going to be a really long video. Buckle in. Not really long. Like probably 15-20 minutes. Should be a short story. Anyway. I'm snowblowing. I got to start the snowblower. And I start snowblowing. I'm about 10% into the driveway. It's a pretty big driveway. When I see some city folk, not city, township folk, pull up in their official township S10 pickups, whatever they are, and they're putting up a Men at Work sign, and I'm like, oh man, not again. Because when we first moved into this house, like less than a month after we moved into this house, construction started. That was ongoing. Hang on, let me just make sure I don't lose my place here. It was ongoing, lasted a year and a half. Not fun. So I'm like, not again. But anyway, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, my hair. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just gonna keep snow blowing, get this done with, go get the kids, whatever. So it looks like the road close sign is, it's gonna affect after our house, not before our house. 6 minutes in, and I haven't even got to the bits of the story. So I get done snow blowing. It's about like 4:55-ish. It's a big driveway, guys. And then, I also shoveled the ramp that we have. So then I get inside and I'm like, let me put my groceries away. That gets me up to a little after 5 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, let me go bathroom. I've got 30 minutes before I gotta go get the kids at this point. 30 minutes. Should be no problem. Just gotta go to the bathroom. I might even have time to do some stuff on the Xbox. But as this goes on, you're gonna find out, no. So I go down to my bathroom, and I start hearing some running water. If I haven't mentioned this before, it is the middle of winter. It is February 17th at the time of this recording. So February 16th. Texas is in a big world of hurt. They are freezing up left and right. And we Michiganders, we're used to the cold, so we should be prepared. Our pipes should be well. We're up to snuff on our regulations. We're not all about that deregulation yet. Please don't deregulate us. I like regulations are good. Regulations are good. So anyway, I get downstairs, I hear a running water noise in my wall, and I'm like, oh no, we have a burst pipe. Because it's, all I've been seeing all day is Texas. Burst pipes. Texas. The whole building is an ice castle now because of burst pipes. And I'm like, man, I gotta find the source. It's a little after 5 o'clock at this time. Did I say? Like 5:02, something like that. And so I'm like, let me find the water shutoff. I start texting Amber immediately, like, hey, I'm worried about our pipes downstairs. Where's our water shutoff? And I'm just texting her. I'm like, she doesn't have her phone. I need to call her work number. So I call her at work immediately. All the while, I run over to the water odometer, whatever you want to call it. It looks like an odometer. I don't know. And it doesn't look like it's moving, but there's this little red thing that's just spinning around and around and around fiercely, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. So I take a picture, take some video of it, so I can prove hey, look at how fast this thing is spinning. And then I call Amber on her work phone, and I'm like, hey, where's our water shutoff valve? And she's like, who is this? And I'm like, come on, it's Nick. I'm having a problem here. Where's our water shutoff? And she's like, hey, it's in this spot, which is where I was already looking. Didn't mention that. I was already looking for it. I couldn't find it. That's why I called her. And I think it was the water valve for our sprinkler system that does not work at all. So, yeah, that was not... That's what she was referencing. What I actually needed was probably 4 feet lower than that, and it looked completely different. But anyway, I digress. So, she's not really helpful, and now I've just got her concerned, which was not my goal here. I did not want to get her concerned. So then I'm like, all right, it's after 5 o'clock. There's nobody working. This is a county job. They're all out of there by 5 o'clock. Love it or leave it. County job, quitting time, 5 o'clock. So I get looking on the website, and I'm like, okay, let me try to find a non-emergent contact number, because this isn't it's kind of an emergency, but not really. I don't know. So anyway, let me back up a little bit before I get to the phone number thing. So I looked throughout the house, and I'm not finding any water anywhere. Zero water. Like, if there's a burst pipe, there's got to be some kind of water somewhere. And at this point, I try to turn on a faucet in the sink, and nothing. Just a hissing noise. And I'm like, great. What is this? Maybe it's a water main break. It's got to be a water main break, right? Although I look outside, and I don't see where there could be a break. Sorry, getting lost again. So I'm like, okay, let me call the non-emergent line. Going back to that part of the story, I call the non-emergent line, and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry to bother you. Have you heard of any sort of water main breaks in the area? Because I don't have water here. And the lady on the phone's just like, I didn't hear nothing about no water main breaks. If you got a problem, call your water company. And I'm like, lady, it is after 5 o'clock. They are gone. They are long gone. Nobody's answering that phone. Oh, well, look on your bill. There should be an emergency number. You know what, bitch? I agree. There should be an emergency number on there, but there's not. There's not. Anyway, I disconnect from her, and I try calling the number that's on there. There's one number. Maybe it's an emergent line. It's not. It's a, hey, you've reached the township office. We're closed because it's after 5 o'clock, dumbass. Call back when we're open like a normal person. So I'm like, okay, that's not happening. That's just not happening. Oh, I went too far. Anyway, maybe I can tell this story right now. So I'm like, all right, there's nobody to call. I guess I call the police. Maybe the actual emergency line can help me out. So I call 911, and I again profusely apologize. Like, hey, I'm terribly sorry to bother you. I really did try to do the non-emergency route on this, but they were not able to help me. Have you heard of any sort of water main break in my area? And I get a response, oh, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. No, we haven't heard about a water main break. I'm like, well, I don't have any water, and there's no water on my property, and I don't see any water outside. And she's like, oh, okay, where's the water at? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have water. That's why I'm trying to find out if there is a water main break, or if this is something that's like just affecting me. And the more this goes on, the more it sounds like it was just affecting our house. I have no idea. So anyway, now I've talked to, I tried calling the township. Of course, they were closed. I called non-emergent line. They weren't helpful. I called 911. They weren't helpful. So then I'm stuck, and I've got nothing going on. So, all right. It's 5:30. 5:45, I think, at this point. I got to go pick up the kids. They're gonna get out of school soon, daycare soon. So I go up and get the kids, and I'm like, sorry guys, we're going on a small adventure before we go home. So we start driving up and down the neighborhoods around us, the cul-de-sacs, the whatever you want to call them. We're not really part of that. We're our own thing, But anyway, we're driving around, and I'm like, Phil, we're looking for water. Help me find water. If you see water shooting out of the ground, let me know. I'm going to keep my eyes out too. But we go through like 3 neighborhoods. We don't see anything. So then I'm like, all right, we're going to drive past our house and go towards where that men at work sign was directing us. And I head that way, and lo and behold, there are men digging up the side of the road down there. They've got their little cats out. There's like 4 or 5 like township vehicles out there. I'm like, they have to be doing something on the pipe down here. So then as soon as I confirm that, I turn right like a dumbass into a neighborhood so I can turn around. But then I get kind of trapped. I can't make a left out. I should have made a left into another neighborhood. Then I can make a right out. I'm an idiot. Whatever. We're moving on. So then I have to do all of bedtime. We get home and still no water. No water. And I had to flush my toilet, of course. Because after I went potty or bathroom, I had to go, or I had to flush it. So we've got one toilet with water in it. We've got a couple gallons of distilled water, and that's what we're gonna do. And then we keep Brita zero water filter in the fridge. So that's our water situation. That's all the water we have. We've got no running water. So I do dinner time with no running water, and I wanted to wash my hands like every 3 minutes. I'm like, oh, I gotta wash my hands after this. Oh, I gotta wash my hands after that. And of course, Philip wants a sun butter and jelly sandwich, which is probably the stickiest, messiest thing he could ask for. Of course. So I've got that going on. Ben's got pulled pork, which is slimy and not good to clean out. He's got one really good plate that we use. It sticks to the table, but one really good plate in general. So anyway, we do dinner time with that. I take some of our distilled water, pour it on the rags, and that's how they wipe their hands and face. Because we can't wash our hands in the sink. And we do normal bedtime stuff. Luckily, I don't have to use a whole lot of water until we get to actual bedtime for Phil, which is, going potty and brushing teeth, all that jazz. So I struggle through that with, not running water. Like rinsing a toothbrush without running water, it works, but it's not great. I clean up the table, the dishes from dinner without running water. It's not great, but it works, kind of, sort of. We have a dishwasher, so rinse them off, put them in there. Where are we at? All right, so by the time dinner or bedtime or we're done brushing our teeth, Phil's like, "Oh, I gotta go potty. I gotta poop." So I'm like, all right, dude, you go poop. And we started using hand sanitizer to wash our hands. I don't remember what the first thing was to wash our hands with. But anyway, hand sanitizer was the go-to after pooping. But then we have the conundrum of flushing this turd. And there goes the rest of our toilet water. I mean, we have distilled water we can use if we need to. Whatever. Anyway, getting down to the end of the story here. Might get this under 20 minutes. We'll see. Phil's in bed by like 9:10, 9:15-ish. And I'm trying to get ready for work for the next day. Get everything else finished up. Then Amber comes home like around 9:40, 9:45. She's got a case of bottled water because she didn't want to waste the distilled water. Don't ask me, it's water. Anyway. She comes home armed with some new information. Her mom used to work for, Oakland County, Wayne County? I don't know. One of those counties over there. Warren, maybe? I don't know. One of those counties. Anyway, her mom's like, call 211. That's the non-emergent line. And I'm like, listen, I already called our non-emergent line. They weren't helpful. But Amber's going to call them anyway because it's new information. Let's follow up on new information. So she calls 211, and she's like, hey, this is my zip code, and we don't have water. How can you help me? And they're like, oh, yeah, we can help you, Hang on while we connect you with someone who can who can help you. So Amber's like, do. Hi, how can I help you? And Amber's like, oh, well, this is my zip code, and I don't have water. And they're like, oh, well, ServPro cleans up messes, but if you're having a plumbing issue, might we recommend a plumber? And my wife's like, who is this? And they're like, oh, this is ServPro, ma'am. Oh, well, we don't need you. We need our water department. So that ends that phone call. Big waste of time that one. I think it was like 10 minutes, but she got stuff done while she was doing it. Anyway, I encourage her to try my non-emergent line again before we try the emergent line again. So she calls, and she's like, hey, we don't have water. What do we need to do? do you have a contact for the water department? Nah, I'm over 20 minutes. And the lady's like, oh, ma'am, I've been dealing with this all day. Call the phone number on your water bill. And my wife's like, no, that phone number does not do what you think it does. Nobody's answering that. Do you have a contact for the water department? And they're like, okay, let me look. Well, it looks like I have a phone number, but I'm not supposed to give it out. So, let me call that for you, and I will call you right back. And my wife's like, great, fine, sure, do that, please, thank you, bye. So, they call the water department, and then promptly call us back saying, oh, there was a water main break. They hope to have it resolved within the hour. Now, here's what pisses me off. So, there was a water main break, and guess what? It was directly related to those men at work guys that were a block away from my house. They put that sign up at 5 o'clock. Like, before 5 o'clock. 4:50, 4:45. Because I was done snow blowing by, like, 5:00 something. Like, 4:55 something. I was done before that. Anyway, my point is, people should have known about this. Why was 911 not, included on this information? Why was non-emergent, informed of this? Why was there nobody around that could help me? So, for, 6 hours? No, it wasn't quite 6 hours. It was from 5 o'clock until almost 10 o'clock that I wasn't sure if it was for sure a water main break that was going to be, completely county-based, or not county, township-based, or if it was going to be, on my property. And I had a problem that we were going to have to deal with. Or my wife was going to have a problem that we had to deal with. Whatever the case may be. But just all that time, we're in the dark. I was checking our township social media. I was checking our, Twitter, Facebook, everything. I even logged into Facebook, which I don't fucking do because I fucking hate Facebook. And just being on there for the amount of time that I was just cemented how much I fucking hate Facebook. Anyway, I'm on there and I go into our township informed thing. And of course I was part of one that, I don't know, there was too much hate or vitriol going on in there that they had to shut it down and move to another one. I don't fucking pretend to know the answers to these things. But anyway, I had to reapply to join a new informed thing. Maybe I'll get this under 25 minutes. I should get this under 25 minutes. We're going to keep going. I have to sign up for this, informed thing. I have to tell them where I live. And then I finally get in after, waiting the period for some yokel-ass motherfucker to approve me. Sorry, I got really fucking hard into the language towards the end of this video. I do apologize, but I am heated. I finally got approved after, an hour or so I could post my question, hey, has anybody heard anything about a water main break on my road? And then I immediately get a response, I'm right across the street from where those guys are working. I haven't noticed a change in my water pressure. Okay. But there are people working there. Do you know what's going on? Is that water main, down? Are you lucky that you're not a part of this problem that I'm a part of? Also, I never mentioned this. Amber did text one of our neighbors because, we don't have, sidewalks to walk over to our neighbors. So she texted one of our neighbors, hey, do you have water? And they're like, nah, we're in Florida. But my kids are home. That's cool. Are your kids going to tell us if you have water? Do you not have hot water? That wasn't my question. We don't have any water. We don't have any water. Anyway, I'm getting loud now too, so headphone warning. In the past, future, whatever. We're going over 25 minutes. Maybe if I hadn't put in these bullshit asides. Anyway. Yeah. And then I get another comment a few minutes later from a lady. Oh, it was like a sewage line break. It looked bad. Oh, okay. So you don't know when that's going to get fixed and why that affected all of my water? Is my water line just the sewage line? Is that what I'm hearing from you? I don't know. Nobody could tell me anything. And I never followed up with the city today, or the township today. It's after 5, so that's not happening either. But I mean, water's fixed, so not a big problem like currently, but I guess I will want to contact them to know in the future what the best course of action is if that happens again, because again, we are just completely in the dark. Absolutely completely in the dark. I don't mind if I have to call the non-emergent line if they will reach out and find out. I have talked a lot. If they will reach out and find out what the problem is and what like the estimated like resolution time is. That's all I really want. I don't want to talk to the fucking governor. I don't want to talk to Mr. President. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to know what's wrong and when it's going to fix. With like the electric company, you can go on their website and be like, oh, these people are out of power. We expect to get it back in 3 days. But then they do it like sooner. I just want like that kind of level of comfort, that level of care. I'm not asking for much. This has just been a long rant that started because, hey, I fucked up on the organization of my cards, and I might as well film this video that I've been thinking about filming all day while I sort through these cards, and it worked out, I think. I did finish like 10 minutes ago or so, I don't know. This has been an extremely long video. And again, I don't know if I will post this, but if you're watching this, I definitely did. But that has been my rant. This was my everyday struggle for February. Today's the 17th, but yesterday was the 16th. This was my everyday struggle for February 16th, 2021. Have fun.